Today I'll be doing a collaboration video for the First Initial Food 2021 challenge hosted by Sarah from Homes Sweet Holmes. We'll be making a really nice and simple potato and eggplant curry, and the whole idea behind this challenge is to use as many ingredients as you can which start with the initial of your first name. For me, that is A, so these are the ingredients which I've picked from my A team. So potatoes, which is also known as aloo, then eggplant, also known as aubergine, and asafoetida. And I'll be serving this main dish with a nice homemade flaky bread, which is going to be made with Atta flour, which is a blend of whole wheat flour for Indian breads, and also some carom seeds, which is also known as Ajwain. So we have all our ingredients, so let's get started. So we'll start off by heating up a wok or a pan on medium heat. Then add in some of your ghee or olive oil, and then heat up and toast your cumin seeds and your asafoetida. Once that is nice and toasty, add in your potatoes. You want to give that a good stir and then just cook that out until the potatoes start to turn translucent. Keep stirring from time to time, and once the potatoes are half cooked, so it's easy to cut it but it's not completely soft yet, add in your onions. Then sweat out the onions until they are soft as well. While those potatoes and onions are cooking, just put a lid on and make sure the heat is not too hot, and that's gonna help create some steam and help cook those potatoes quicker. Potatoes are traditionally a pain to cook, and it does take a long time if you're not boiling it. So you want to give it time, and you don't want to eat raw potatoes at all. Then once that happens, add in some chopped ginger and garlic. Cook this out until the rawness of the ginger and garlic has cooked out, and then add in your tomatoes. Now once you've added our tomatoes, now let's start adding in some of our dried spices. So start by adding in some ground coriander, turmeric, degi mirch, which is great for color, not the spice. You can use paprika as well. And then finally some salt, and then give this all a good mix, and then lower down the heat. Cover it if you can. And while these potatoes are cooking down, let's focus on our eggplant. So I'll be using my electric stove to roast the eggplant. I don't have a gas or a flame stove where you can just directly put the eggplant on the direct naked flame. And if you have an induction stovetop instead, then you might want to use your oven and just coat that eggplant with some oil and use the broiler setting of the oven. But in my case, I just put a wire rack on my electric stove and then put the eggplant directly over. What you want to look for is a nice charred exterior throughout, and if you try to squeeze that eggplant, it should be quite soft, which would indicate that it is completely cooked. Now once that's done, set the eggplant onto your cutting board and let that cool down a little bit. And once it has cooled down, cut that down the middle, and with the help of a spoon, just scoop out all that beautiful flesh. Now if you have some more time while those potatoes cook out, let's focus on our bread as well. So we'll be making some layered paratha breads, and it's going to be really simple, and all you need is some atta flour with some ghee, some ajwain or carom seeds, and a bit of water to knead this into a soft dough. It should not be sticky at all. Once you have that, let that rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then portion it out into 4 to 6 golf ball sized portions. Then for each portion, have a dusted work surface and then roll it out lightly. Once you have a thick disc, then lightly cover that disc with some molten ghee. Then lightly dust with a bit of your flour, and then fold that in half. Then coat the half circle with some more of your molten ghee, and then dust that with flour as well. Then we'll fold that in half as well, and now we'll have a triangle. Now while maintaining that triangular shape, roll the dough out really nice and thin. Now I'm going to finish doing the rest of my paratha portions while my tawa pan is heating. You could use a cast iron pan for this as well. Now once that pan is nice and hot, add that paratha right on there. Now once it's on that hot pan, what you want to look for is some bubbles that start popping up on the surface. Then flip that and then coat that top side with some more of your ghee. That's going to help get some nice char and a nice golden brown color to the paratha. Then do the same thing on the other side as well, and once you have a nice even golden brown color, some nice spots, set that aside and your paratha will be great and ready to go whenever that potato gets done. So do the same with the rest, and now let's focus back onto our main dish. So at this point, I did have to add a bit of water just to make sure the mixture does not get too dry. And now the potatoes are completely cooked. Now as soon as that has happened, roughly chop up your eggplant, which we have just scooped out a bit earlier, and then add that all into your pan or your wok. Now this recipe might seem familiar to my eggplant mash, my Baingan Bharta recipe. And that actually is one of my favorite ways to enjoy eggplant in an Indian style. And I love potatoes, I love aloo. So what better way to enjoy potatoes and eggplant in the best way that I know how to make eggplant. Now once you've given this a really good mix, then finish your dish with some garam masala, a bit of lime juice, and some freshly chopped cilantro. Just let that simmer, let that get all that flavor in for a minute or two, and now you are ready to serve this with your hot, crispy, flaky paratha. This challenge was a lot of fun, especially thinking about what we can make and how we can incorporate the most ingredients that start with an A. If you want more videos just like this one, be sure to hit subscribe, hit that bell icon, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.